You are listening to Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
You're listening to Positive Power 21, Christian media on late night radio.
Can you feel the power? Positive Power 21. He's been often imitated, never duplicated. Some call him the David Letterman of late night. Some call him the Arsenio Hall of Gospel. Feel the power. Positive power. Jerry Ross.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XI.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast. You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast. You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right. What's going on, family? Welcome to Positive Power Double XI Christian Media. And you're listening to The Quiet Storm with Paula G, the voice, and Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. Tonight, my special guest is gospel recording artist and performer Brandon Watson. Also, we got co-host tonight, Shay Samuels, Joyce the Faith Walker. That's right. And maybe some more. Maybe somebody else gonna dial in and join us. All right, show about to start. Hold tight, y'all. About to have a good time. Praise and worship time. Don't forget about John 14:6. Jesus answered, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. John 11:25. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Oh, dear Father God, almighty creator of heaven and earth, everything in between, we humbly come before you with thanksgiving in our hearts, asking for your never-ending mercy. We lift your name on high, above name that ever existed. Our Father, our Creator, we ask you to bless, protect, and to pour your supernatural favor upon us, our children, our spouses, our friends. God, we ask you today for divine intervention in our lives. We ask for your touch in all areas of our lives, being a good job, promotion, freedom from debt, rebuilding of our relationship with our spouses and friends. Father, any situation you touch, we believe it will never remain the same. Father in heaven, let your will be done in our lives as your decision in our lives is the best and will always be the best. Please send double portions of anointings and blessings in the quickest time as your name is being worshipped and glorified by multitudes in the name of your only Son, our personal Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. God is going to shift things and let things work in your favor. God closes doors no man can open, and God opens doors no man can close. If you need God to open doors for you, call on him. I am that I am. All right, y'all, we're going to have a great show tonight. Hang in there, hang in there. All right. We got Brandon Watson. He's here with us tonight. That's right. We're going to have a super duper good time. All right. All right. All right, y'all. We're going to have some fun. Hang in there with us. That's right. The Quiet Storm at midnight. That's right. The party line right here on Positive Power Double XI Christian Media. I'm your host. That's right. Paula G won't be joining us tonight, y'all. She had some super duper something important to do, but she'll be back. So hang in there with us. All right.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
That's right. You tell them, Robot. Tell them. All right, let's bring Shay on the line. I think Shay should be connected. Shay Samuels, you connected? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Welcome to Positive Power WXR. It's been a while, Shay. How you doing?
I'm great.
You great? You had a good week?
Wonderful. I am. I'm sitting here getting ready for a conference tomorrow.
Oh, you got a conference tomorrow? Get out of here.
I do. Yeah.
All right, we're not going to keep you up too late tonight. We're not going to go too hard on the party line. You know, there's no Paula G tonight. So, you know, Paula keep me on the phone at 3 o'clock. So tonight, I'll be able to.
Someone jokingly did say I'll be on here until 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm on like a spiritual high right now, so I might be up for a while anyway.
I know I took a caffeine pill, so who knows how long I may be up.
Uh-oh.
My wife said, "Oh, I want you to help me with something on my computer. What time you be up?" I said, "About 1 o'clock." She said, "Oh, I'll be asleep." She won't be asleep.
Oh.
She gonna be up. She gonna be up. She know it. All right. Well, we got a guest tonight from You First Management Enterprises over in the Florida area. I'm not sure where Brandon is from, but we've been playing his music. So what we're going to do, so we can get some flavor, find out where he's coming from with his style, we're going to go ahead and play his music. I was hoping Joyce was going to join us tonight, but I guess she must be still asleep because I didn't get a reply back when I hit up. I said, hang out with us. I said, Kim, you going to hang out with us tonight? And nobody replied back, so I guess they chicken out. They always said they're going to try to hang, but, you know, not everybody could be a night owl or a bat, right?
Well, I mean, we got each other.
That's right. We got each other. That's all we need. And Paula G's probably listening. I know she's listening. She probably want to call. She really do. She used to be.
Hey, Paula.
Yeah, Paul. She's normally on the Google Hangout with me. So you can see her on television also. Yeah. So no sweat. All right, let's go ahead and play Brandon Watson's song called "Got a Feeling," and we're waiting for his manager to send us a couple more. So he gonna hang out with us. So here we go. This one's called "Got a Feeling" by Brandon Watson.
What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. So real, someone like any other. What the world could offer me just held me down. Had me questioning, does this even matter? Do I matter? Then you came as sunlight breaks the clouds, with rain washed over me. I feel complete, your radiance has changed me. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You make me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. You came the clouds with rain wash over me. I feel complete. Your radiance has changed me. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, so that was Brandon Watson. Let's talk about this guy a little bit. Brandon's an internationally known recording artist, worship leader based out of San Antonio, Texas, with a passion for worship and a heart devoted to God. Brandon's music shows complete dedication and creativity. His drive is energetic, friendly, and passionate, both on and off the stage. Brandon has traveled nationally and internationally, spreading the word of God through worship and music. His debut single, All This Time, found great success after being launched on Sirius XM Radio on Kirk Franklin's Praise the Well. All major music downloading sites, including iTunes, Amazon Music, and Google Play. His newest project, Got a Feeling, released March 21st, and released to radio. And he's been featured on Radio 1, Praise 102, Soar Radio, Sirius, and a number of other radio stations. All right, let's bring him out and let him talk to us. We ain't going to tell all his business. Let him tell it to us. All right, we got Shay back, and we got Brandon Watson. What's going on, Mr. Watson? Welcome to Positive Power, XI, Christian Media. How you doing,
What's good, family? How are y'all?
Good, man. Say hi, Shay. You still there, Shay?
Well, hi. How
Hi, Brandon.
Doing?
How are you?
Good to finally meet you.
Good to finally meet you. You are an interesting and exciting person to meet, so I'm ready to get my questions going with you.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm honored. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on the show tonight. I'm over in Central Standard Time in Texas, out of San Antonio, so I'm an hour before y'all, so I'm still wide awake over here.
Oh, it's okay. We're wide awake too, right, Jerry?
That's right. We wide awake, man. I took my caffeine pill, man. I'm good to go. I may be up till tomorrow. Who knows? All the way until the next show.
No,
my next
Jerry.
show.
I won't let you do it. I'll call your wife on that one.
It could happen. I got a show that starts at 9 with Pastor Jack at 9 a.m. Then 10 o'clock, we got Next Man Up with Dr. Paul Kelly. So who knows? We might be up for a while.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You sound like you got my traveling schedule over there.
Yeah, man. When you operate in a radio station and you got teenagers, man, you just gotta go with it. Now I'm trying to upload your picture, Brandon, so bear with me so people know who you are, so they can put a face with the voice. So I'm gonna get that going in a minute. But meanwhile, let's get the first question going. First question is, who is Brandon Watson? Who is this guy that's on XI?
Yeah, man. Well, like you said, I've been in music my entire life. I'm internationally known, and grown up in music. Came up in a pastor's home, so music has been a part of my life my entire life. Mostly because I grew up in a small church out in Bandera, Texas, which no one would know about. It's about 35 miles outside of San Antonio. It's called Cowboy Capital of the World, and grew up there and developed my music and my talent, and started leading worship for my church at a very young age, around 10 years old.
Wow.
Knew that I had a great call on my life, knew that I needed to pursue that call, didn't know what to do, and lo and behold, the Lord took me through a whole season, several seasons of development and pruning, and here we are now. Been a professionally touring musician and traveling recording artist for over 7 years now.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. Young guy, too. That's good, man. Praise God.
Yeah.
Praise God. All right. Shay, you got a question? I'm downloading some other music so everybody get a chance to hear some of his other beats, which that song, I really love that song, man. It's a lot of flavor with that song, man. Beautiful. It made our playlist.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we love it.
I appreciate it. Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing me some love.
Yeah,
I've been seeing y'all posting about the song, about the single, and, man, it just warms my heart to know that people like the song. People are vibing to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. All right.
Yeah, I can see me vibing to it. Well, I was actually just going through your page a little bit earlier today, and there are things that just intrigue me about artists, and I look at what they say, and there's a difference between, I say this on every radio interview I'm on, there's a difference between industry and ministry. And so I go through your page and I see that you are all about the ministry, although there's that business aspect. And there was a post that you said, I decided last year to make sure I can do everything in my power to allow God to do everything in his power to cause me to sound different, act different, pray different, worship different, and be the difference. So I want to ask you, what do you think the difference in this ministry versus industry looks like?
There's a lot of things I feel like God is doing, especially as we're entering into 2018 and entering in the season. And he's been doing it for some time now. And a lot of people that have been at the peak of the industry, at the peak of I guess, successful ministry, as you could say, God is allowing this remnant of young ministers and young artists and young singers and young performers, young worshipers and leaders to rise up and step into their calling and have validation in what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And the industry, I mean, I'm sure y'all know it's a very small circle, and it's kind of like who you know is how you're going to get in, and once you're in, you're in. But we've done a poor job in the industry of allowing others to come into the circle and say, hey, come in, let's develop you, let's make you the best that you can be, let's make you everything that God has called you to be and help you get to where you're supposed to be. Because, I guess the saying is it's very, once you get to the top of something, there's not a lot of space at the top. There's a whole lot of space at the bottom. But I feel like in the kingdom of God, it should be quite the opposite. There should be a lot of space at the top, and for a lot of different people to be in the calling that they're in and have validation, have backing from management or label companies or whatever that may be, and I feel like the Lord has challenged me and called me to be more than just an artist, but to be someone that can bring people into the circle and in the industry and help them and develop them also.
Yeah, so true.
Yes, that definitely was is a powerful statement, because I think as artists, we can really get wrapped up in the amount of events. Like I'm one that always talks about quality over quantity, and so to hear your question definitely warms my heart to know that you're on the right side of the track. So, amen for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's right.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, that was very powerful. Absolutely. All right, Brandon. So we understand that you're a gospel artist. Now, did you have any interest in trying any other genres out? During your young career?
It's actually funny because I really don't consider myself gospel, quote unquote gospel artist, because it's just I really never saw myself doing that type of genre. But as I progressed in my career and progressed in ministry and music, it just kind of swinging that way. I grew up, on gospel music, and I grew up with having those roots and having soulful music in my life. I love blues music. When I play guitar live, it's I'm constantly playing blues licks and blues riffs, and that's just how I play. I'm a very soulful person. So, but at the same time, I love, integrity worship, CCM stuff, and I was trying to figure out how to be me and how to package that, how to market that. So a lot of my music, you can kind of hear a lot of what my taste in music is when I'm writing and when I'm producing, and especially a song like "Got a Feeling." You know, that was a song that birthed out of I feel like a time where I just released that last March. It was a single to my EP that's coming out March of 2018. My EP is called "The Difference." So I'm about to drop that, and it's my first full project. I'm super stoked about it. So I released the "Got a Feeling" single, and when we were in the studio producing it, I literally said, I feel like what our nation's going through, what we're doing as a whole, we need to start hearing the sound in our music, especially as Christian artists.
That's right.
And we need to start being inspiring instead of feeling like we're condemning people. And I was like, I want to do a song has a good vibe, it has a dancey vibe to it, but yet it's still talking about a positive message, an inspirational message, and a faith-based message. And so a lot of my music is very, very urban, I guess you could label it, and I can definitely cross over and take it to church at any time.
That's right.
Because I know how I can do that.
Amen.
So yeah, that's how I came about getting in the gospel scene.
All right. Love it, man. All right, we ready to play All This Time, so hold your questions, Shay. This one's called All This Time by Brandon Watson. Here we go.
Something more. My emptiness, my brokenness. All this time, you found me. All this time, you've been right here. All this time, you've had my you.
listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, all this time, Brandon Watson in San Antonio, Texas. Now, Brandon has quite a few of he named some dreams, some aspirations, and one of them is I want to do more. Let me back it up. He said, I want to do more than just be a recording artist and make records. So he want to do a whole lot more. We let him talk about that. And he have quite a few milestones. All right. And you can reach him at You First Ministry. Or you can get him at his website at bwattsmusic.com. BWATSmusic.com. All right, so you can visit his website. All right, let me get them guys back on here. Oh, I'm on the wrong browser. Hold tight, y'all. Here we go. We're talking to Brandon Watson. You just heard All This Time. Beautiful song. Beautiful. All right. Shay, you ready to ask him the next question?
I am, and I think I love the fact that this album of yours is going to be one that everyone can get something out of. So I appreciate that. Who would you say inspires you, whether it be mainstream or independent? Who would you say inspires you, your music, and helps to develop the core of who you are today? That's a loaded question because a lot of my inspiration has come from, worship leaders that I've been connected to over the years, and some guys that I'm sure you haven't heard of, and some guys that you have heard of. One guy in particular, his name's Lyndall Cooley. He's a worship leader out of Pensacola, Florida, years ago during the Pensacola outpouring revival at the church in Brownsville. And he was a guy that I really followed, really looked up to, really listened to his stuff. And he was a worship leader, still is a worship leader. He's also a senior pastor now out of Nashville. I've actually never met him. I know someday I will meet him, but I've never met him yet. And then there's other guys that that I've looked up to. Kirk Franklin, he's a guy that I've listened to growing up, my entire life and career. Fred Hammond, John Mayer. John Mayer has been a huge inspiration and guitar-wise. B.B. King, the list could go on in blues music of what I've listened to growing up and what I still currently listen to. But there's just so many things that make who I am. The Motown era, the Stevie Wonder, all these dudes that I've listened to, still listen to, and still draw from in what I do. Definitely has inspired who I am.
Oh man. All right, Brandon, you've been traveling the world, touring all over the place. Tell us about an experience, man, that shocked you. Whether it was with a fan or a musician or a situation on stage.
Something that shocked me.
Yeah,
Well, I've definitely had a couple of moments, scary moments of a crazy fan moment. I my road manager who's with me is also a personal bodyguard for me. So he's constantly on his toes while we're traveling and performing. And we've had some instances where people get overly excited and we have no idea what they're going to do. And this one particular time, I was doing actually a worship night. And I was on stage. We were in this solemn moment. It was an intimate moment of worship. And there was this gentleman pretty close to the stage. And he was knelt down. He was, I thought he was just worshiping and kind of expressing his own worship to the Lord. And then all of a sudden, he just starts screaming bloody murder.
Whoa.
And we did not know what was happening. And I just opened my eyes, and before I know it, my bodyguard was already taking care of the moment. I think come to find out, he was just like, oh, I was just worshiping and that, I wasn't planning to do anything. And so we found out later, well, everything, was fine. But, things like that, you never know, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? You can't be too careful.
You don't.
So that was definitely probably one of the standout moments that I've had so far. And you know, of course, in the merchandise line, the product line, different people will say different things. You know, that they want to marry me or they love me or this or that, and it's just kind of like, okay, God bless you,
man. Treating
it moving.
Yeah, treating you like a rock star, man. So it happens in gospel, Christian music too. All right, fans are fans. That's right. It is, you know, even being a you know, I guess a radio host, DJ, we run into our share of I'm not going to say groupies, but you know, fans. But and it's funny sometimes. My wife laughs. She's like, "Oh, you know." I said, "Yeah, and the internet radio is real. You know, it's real radio. You know." And,
right.
Yeah.
People get excited.
They do.
They get excited about a movement or a person. You know, it's like, well, come on, let's go ahead and get that excited about Jesus, and you know, we'll be good.
Right. And I'm sure it's humbling, you know, but at the same time, you gotta be careful. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Shay, you got one for him? You got another question for Brandon?
I do. I would, so just, you know, I guess artist to artist, I always look to inspire other artists. So if you have one thing to encourage other artists in this time in this season as independent artists, you know, we're always looking for opportunities. We're always looking for encouragement. Like people like Jerry Royce, you know, who allows us the opportunity to be on his station. And it's hard. The push is really hard, and sometimes we can get discouraged. So how would you encourage someone out there listening today that may be discouraged right now?
I would just say keep it moving. You know, don't stop. Keep pushing. Keep working. Nobody can take away your passion or your drive. That is something that is instilled by God into you, and nobody can make it happen other than you. You know, you're the person that has the gift. You're the person that has the call and the anointing. Now it's time for you to be willing to develop that and keep moving. And the biggest thing is be transparent and be genuine. Be who you are, because the world needs who you are. The world needs who Brandon Watson is. They don't need another person to act like another person. You know, God has given each and every one a unique gift, unique talent, and how we articulate that and transfer that in our message and in our art and our music is what the world needs. And we need a fresh new voice to get the gospel out. We need a fresh new sound to get the gospel out. And God is waiting on you to do that. You know, so that would be my wisdom and my thoughts on that.
Amen.
Amen. All right, Brandon, you've been traveling nationally and internationally, man. So is it a difference? You know, is it a difference in the audience to you? And if it is, you know, name a particular country.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, I was blessed to have done a full tour over in the UK and Europe, and you know, I'm going to be going to Canada this year and South Africa this year, some other parts of Africa also, and just the unique style of their worship expression is so much different than what we see here in the States. They're just so sold out and believe everything of what the Bible says, and they won't stop until they have the physical manifest presence of God in the room. And it's so crazy to see how these people overseas are so ready and so hungry for something real. You know, just gift and fluff does not work overseas. And it's crazy because they want to see miraculous healing. They want to see miracle signs and wonders happen, and they do see it because they're so hungry for it. So the atmosphere is already ready and conducive for what God wants to do because these people are ready and they're believing. And so seeing that as I travel and when I'm leading worship, it's so life-changing. I can't even put it into words.
Wow.
But I'm so blessed to be able to do this, not just, you know, across our nation, but globally. And, you know, it's just amazing to see to see that.
I bet it is. Wow. And you hear that all the time. You're not the first person that told me that. All right, we're going to play Got a Feeling for those who just coming into the queue. We are streaming internationally over the Spreaker Radio to the UK is one of our strong markets, and Canada, so they're probably familiar with you over there. So let's go ahead and play that again, and we'll be back to get one more question in, and I know you're ready to relax and chill back and get ready for Saturday. All right, here we go. Brandon Watson, Got a Feeling.
You are listening
What I
to
found
Jerry
is
Worldwide
nothing comes
Podcast.
close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. So real, someone like any other. What the world could offer me just held me down. Had me questioning, does this even matter? Do I matter? Then you came as sunlight breaks the clouds, with rain washed over me. I feel complete, your radiance has changed me. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You make me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. Nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable. What I found is nothing comes close to the way that you have loved me. This feeling you give me is pure and true. You made me brand new, so incredible, unexplainable.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
You're listening to Positive Power 21, Christian media on late night radio.
All right, that was Got a Feeling. You'll be able to purchase that right on Amazon. Just look for Brandon Watson. We'll be dropping that right in the queue in a second. All right. So I got a big question for Brandon before Shay asks her question before I forget. Brandon, you working on a TV special? A reality show? I know it's probably, I guess I don't want to let the cat all the way out the bag where people are going to find it. It's up to you if you want to tell them where they be able to find it at. Now, where are you right now? You shooting a season or what? What's going on?
Yeah, man. So I'm about to drop my own reality show, and I haven't even let the title out yet to social media or to anybody yet. But it's about to drop. The title of the show is about to drop at the end of the month, and then our first episode is going to, I believe, be dropping the end of March, early April.
Mm-hmm.
And we're shooting 3 seasons. So I got 3 seasons of the show, and it's all about my life, my movement, me as an artist, me as a worship leader, and me as Brandon, as a son, as a friend, and and it's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be so much fun. We've already been shooting since last month, and if anybody knows me at all, I'm a jokester. I like having fun. I like keeping things light in my life, and just being joyful. And
That's
so
right.
it's gonna be absolutely hilarious. So I can't wait to drop this show and let the public see my life and see what I'm doing on the back side of everything, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. Wow. I can't wait to see that, man. You got to let us know. Well, of course, we know Trinell, you're one of your managers, promoters, so we'll find out where it's going to be playing at. And hopefully, man, we'll be able to get an opportunity to work with you because, we're working on some concert series, big and small, so hopefully we'll be able to convince you to be part of one of them. And we get on the show and be on your show. I love reality TV.
Yeah, man. I would love to. We got to make it happen. We'll make it happen.
That's right. 'Cause Batman Charm City, you're a lover here, man. It's, get some beautiful waterfront, restaurants and hotels and stuff here.
It's cold there now, Jerry. It's cold
You're making me want to get. You're making me want to get on the plane right now to get out there right now. So yeah,
Brandon,
we'll make it happen.
If you like to eat, 1,600 restaurants on the waterfront waiting for you to dine with them.
My goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my
I think
goodness!
they got 6 or 7 brand new hotels. Yes, it's waiting. You can pull your boat up to the dock and just pick one.
Okay, well, all right. It's already a done deal. I'll be out there.
That's right. Can't beat that, man. Waterfront property. All right, Shay. Well, Shay's been here, and Shay, actually today was 65 degrees. I don't know what happened. It was crazy.
It was 65.
Yeah.
It was 61 here. I'm hoping for an awesome weather, 61. I'm praying for 65 for tomorrow for the conference, but it was about 61 here.
Yeah, it was. My dog was outside.
Now let's pray when I get there on the 29th that it'll be 65.
I don't know. I heard some bad news. We heard the snow is coming. Yeah, snow is coming. It was crazy. My wife and I was looking at TV. I thought I was dreaming, but it looked like the weatherman said something about all this warm air is being pushed up to the north. Crossing Virginia, D.C., Philly, all the way up to Boston, right? All this warm air, but right behind it is going to be temperatures in the 20s again. So,
right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, with snow. I think snow is coming Tuesday and Wednesday, my daughter told me. So,
well, come on, Snow.
So you know what that means? All this warm air brings a lot of moisture. So there's going to be a lot of moisture in the air. So we could get a blizzard. That's how we get blizzards around here when that warm air move up in here. So,
right.
Yeah, boy. So, whatever it is, we ready for it. My snow blower is ready. It's gassed up. I just got to plug it up, get it started. All right. Well, look, Brandon, man.
The last time I was in Baltimore, I got stuck in Baltimore what was that, about a month ago, Jerry?
Yeah, you sure? Yeah.
I was in Baltimore, and I got stuck in Baltimore because Georgia was having snow, and then the night that I was supposed to fly out, Baltimore had snow, so I was there for 4 extra days.
Wow, and there wasn't that much snow. It was like 2 inches. I swept it away.
I was stuck.
Yeah, I didn't use my shovel. I just put the broom out. That was crazy. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that. So anyway, so you got another question to ask Brandon? I know you're not trying to stay up all night with us. And we got some new music.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I told you I'm amped up. I'm ready to go for tomorrow. But, Brandon, I noticed that you have a very, what's the word? You have a sense of style. That's what I'll say. you have a sense of style. So, yeah, who inspires that? I'm all about who inspires because I think people just need to pull. When you get a chance to learn a lot about me, I'm all about pulling the best out of whoever is doing it so that people who are trying or aspiring to get there understand what we've been through, where we pull from. So where are you pulling from?
Sure. Well, the funny thing is no one knows this at all. This is the first time I've ever shared this with anybody, especially on a radio show. But I was in my early teen times. I was walking through one of my local malls, and I got picked up as an Abercrombie model. So I actually modeled for about 3 years. Oh, wow. And so I have a modeling background, and I definitely was not pursuing that in any way, shape, or form. But it just kind of happened, and so that definitely helped with my style and who I am, and clothing, and just kind of what I do. But I also, my best friend and road manager, he is a sneakerhead, so he's always buying shoes and getting good deals on shoes, and so he's always making me look clean on the shoe game. And so I got that, and then of course, I'm always looking at other artists and other people to see, like, okay, well, what are they doing, and just kind of still being me. But I like looking clean, so I try to do it that way.
That's right. So
well, I like how diverse your look is. So
thank you.
Very diverse look.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Album
I appreciate
cover,
that.
everything's real sharp. His album cover is nice. His promo, his website. That's how you got to roll.
Yeah.
Good.
Very marketable. I like it.
Good job.
Well, thank you. It means so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Brandon. I got one last question for you. Have you had a chance to go to college or whatever? Live a normal life? Because it sounds like you've been doing a lot of entertainment. From day one.
I did not go to college. I did, graduate high school, and I did do an intern program out of San Antonio, Texas, at a very large church, and I went into that right out of high school, and did a internship program for about 2 years to become a worship pastor, learn how to manage, music ministry over 500. And I learned everything from running front of house audio, AV lighting, to managing church management on the music ministry side, and I was put on staff, and then went straight into learning production, and I was a supervisor at a theme park out of San Antonio for 3 years, and oversee the entertainment department for several years, and did that. And so I've been on every side that you can think of entertainment. And so now that I'm touring, now I'm, an artist, I appreciate the time that, these audio guys and lighting guys get there to set up and rig and do all this stuff, because I was that guy. I did that, so it was definitely a blessing to learn all that.
Yeah, it is, man. Especially when you got to do it all yourself. You do the setup.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
I do it all. And the operator sit and wait for everything to be set up so he can do his job. All right. Good for you, man. All right. So I guess we're ready to get you out of here, man. But we got one last question for you, man.
All right.
Did you feel the power? Did you feel the power, XXI?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
Right. You felt the power. Shay Sammy, did you feel the power? She must have hung up on me.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of XXI.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brandon Watson. You can get his music at bwattsmusic.com. Matter of fact, you can rate our Facebook page. You find his website right there. Or you can Google him and go out to Amazon and download his new music. All right, he'll be on tour soon. Go out to his website, his Facebook page, find out where you can find him overseas or domestically. And we appreciate him being here on Positive Power XXI. All right.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right. We appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Thank you so much, and good luck to your
Yes,
career.
sir.
And we hope to run into you real soon.
Thank you.
Jerry, I'm still here. I was on mute.
Oh, okay. She was talking to Jerry. I feel the power. I heard you trying to talk to me.
I was yelling too. I'm yelling in the house like, I feel the power.
And only the household.
Oh,
heard
man.
it. Yeah. All right, Brandon, you stick around.
Thank
we want
you so
to, man.
much for having me.
Absolutely, man. We ready to play some new music, and we're going to open up with All This Time. We got brand new music by Oh, you're going to love this song by Theo White, Brandon, because you got that same style. I can feel that in you. So stick around and listen to that.
Cool.
We got some new music by Pastor Vega. He's out of Houston, Texas. So you may know that guy.
Oh, yeah. He's my neighbor.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Get out of here. Yeah, he got some great music. So we're gonna listen to him and Kyra Nicole, and we be able to wrap up the rest of the night, Shay. So we don't have to stay up all night. All right. And then we may listen to a little bit of Paula G. She sent us something. Okay. All right. So hold tight, y'all. Here we go. And we ready to start off with All This Time by Brandon Watson.
What am I doing? Where do I go? From here on, I'm yearning, longing for something more. My emptiness, my brokenness. All this time, you found me. All this time, you've been right here. All this time, you've had my heart. I found
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
I've been beat down, I've been dragged down by the tricks of the enemy, trying to take me out ever since they found out what God had for me. But you won't win and you won't steal my joy, no, no more. He died for me on Calvary, that's why I know I'm free. I know who I am, I know who I be. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. I know who I am, I know who I be. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. No more of your deceit, no more of your lies. Your chains can't hold me down. In Christ I will rise. No more of your deceit, no more of your lies. Your chains can't hold me down. In Christ I will rise. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. I know whose I am. I know whose I be. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. I know whose I am. I know whose I be. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. I know who I am. I've been beat down, dragged down, beat up by the enemy. Jesus set me free. I've been beat down, dragged down, going pound for pound, maybe round for round, but I'm still standing my ground. Yeah, you can't win today. It's my praise, and I'm gonna give it to him today. I know who I am, whose I am, whose I be, whose I be. No longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. Yeah, who I am, no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. Said he set me free. Yes, he set me free. Yes, he set me free. I know who I am, I know who I be. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. I do whatever, so clever, pull on the lever. Whenever I am mad and upset, I rebuke the devil. For trying to make me mad, trying to make me sad. Let me tell you right now, Satan, they just be mad. You cannot take my joy away, cause every single day I open up my eyes, I'm gonna give praise. I'm just a man with a master plan, doing everything I can, making sure I make it to the promised land. I know who I am. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free. I know who I am, I know who I be. I'm no longer held in bondage, Jesus set me free.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, you just heard two hot tracks, Theo White and Brandon Watson. Get that music, Amazon.com. I'm putting everything right there on the page. So if you're out there on Facebook Live or you're on Spreaker Radio, come on over to my Facebook page and cop some of that music. All right, just click the link and take you right to my Amazon store. That's right, the music store. All right, Shay, what you think of that, man? Wasn't that hot, though, that Theo White piece? I like that.
Yeah, I like it. It was smooth.
Yeah, Jesus.
That was like the right music to play.
I know. Yeah, I was like, man, when I played that yesterday for the first time, I was like, whoa. Yeah, he had quite a testimony, too. Quite a testimony. Man, it was unbelievable. Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah, he raising, I think, 2-3 children, small children, by himself. Yeah, had to relocate. You know, was in the military, 15, quite a story.
Is he in Maryland?
No, he's in North Carolina now. Yeah, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, working in a warehouse, he said, building Ford Tough trucks. Ford
Wow.
Tough. Yeah, midnight shift at that. So
that's the way to do it. It's very rare to find fathers that take care. Like, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I think at one point in time there was a season where it was just mothers. But I think over the last 3 years, I do hear about more fathers taking on the responsibility of raising their children.
That's right. That's right.
In fact, I have 2 godchildren now because when we joined our church, their dad was a single parent, and he had a boy and a girl, and the poor girl would come to church with ballies in her hair. She was only like 6 or 7, and her hair, I mean, you could tell he tried.
Yeah.
So I just said, let me bless you with doing her hair every week, and then like one weekend he came over and he was like, "You're her godmom," and they're like 13, 14, 15 now. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, helping them out. Yeah, I was the same situation. That just got married, and my wife was in agreement, so we raised my son. We got him when he graduated from elementary school, so he moved with us when he was starting middle school. Yep, all the way to college. Raised him all the way to college. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So sometimes dads gotta step up to the plate. They don't want to see.
Yeah, it's happening more and more. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's one of your Man Up Saturdays.
That's right. Next Man Up. That's right. Check us out, y'all. Next Man Up, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning with our moderator, Dr. Paul Kelly. We talking about teens hanging with the wrong crowd. How to monitor that, how to stop that, how to control it, what to do. So we're talking to former gang leaders, guys who now that are pastors and ministers and Christian hip hop artists, and they pretty much helping us out. They giving us the formula, showing signs, before they go down that wrong path. All right. So tomorrow, actually today, we got Evan Jefferson. He's actually the author of The New Black Wall Street. He talks about how to invest your money. He's a financial entrepreneur. So he's also had started a few entrepreneur programs for kids. So he's going to be here to talk to us. It was one of the things that David Benton had brought up when we had him on the show was some of these guys that's on the corner that's moving illegal products. They want to show them how to move legal products. Still make money, but doing it legally. So hopefully we'll be able to get something from Evan. Okay, so we'll see how this will work out. All right, we got some more new music. We got Kyra Nicole coming up. And also we got my man, Pastor Vega. And he's actually Brandon's neighbor. Who would have thought that? Okay. Different management record labels and all that stuff. All right. So let's check out Mr. Vega first. And then we're going to move right into Kyra Nicole. So here we go. And this one's called Ephesians 6.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He sent me to heal the brokenhearted and preach deliverance to the captives. Hallelujah. I'm fighting same demons that my father had, except I'm busting with a Holy Ghost automatic. Covered by the grace of my holy dad. He using me, a little ghetto boy, imagine that. I'm from a small hood, some call it Harrisburg. It's right off Broadway, OGs called it 83rd. It's home of the serve, and DJ Screw, you heard? See, God done took me from the streets and planted me in word. Yeah, I'm kicking in doors, I'm off in their face. Ay, I'm coming with love, I'm covered in grace. Hold up. He loving you, man, your sin is erased. Tell him again, man, he loving you, dog, your sin is erased. Never again be held up in sin. He wash it out clean, you free to go in. Just follow the speed and straight repent. I read to the end and say that we win. I read to the end and say that we win.
You have been equipped with Ephesians 6. You are ready for battle from head to toe. I'm letting you know to hit the front lines. Your tongue will be a fiery whip in the pits of hell. You have been sealed with the blood of the Lamb. You have been clothed with the royal robe of righteousness. You have been called to a higher calling. You are meant to dwell within the secret place place of the Most High.
Walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Parole violation, I done murdered the flesh. Taking shots to the chest, bulletproof vests. Ready for the warfare, unite to take the souls back. Fifth Ward renegade, trained to go. Get your handcuffs out, I done murdered the flow. Say you heard it before. Billy boy, you mistaken, I reach in the streets. All gas, no breaking, I can see the seraphim. The veil is torn. Redeem of the Lord, we done been reborn. My boy Vega hit me up, said, Doug, we gotta reach him. If we don't catch him early, themselves is gon' teach him. I agree, 100, you ain't got to ask. Only what you do for Christ gon' last. Holla at me, taking back the streets without a gun or mask. I'm talking quick, fast, spiritual whiplash.
I am grateful to serve beside you. It is you that is written about in the ancient days and the ancient texts. The prophets dreamed and have visions about you. Welcome to the gathering of the saints and the elect. Can't you see the chariots of God's army around you? Can't you see the pillars of fire that go out before you? It is you who has been chosen.
When I step up on the battlefield, man, I'm fully equipped. Taking back the left flank, yeah, that's my soul's mission. I'm coming for the POWs and the MIAs. I use my sword to break every chain and free all the slaves. And as the war rages, the enemy starts to flee in fear of the crazy Scottish that be lurking deep inside of me. I'm here to bring liberation, no hesitation, the full invasion. Hear the sounds of the shofar of revelations.
We bum rushing the gates of hell, we going in for his. And taking our souls back, show you this kingdom biz. And with my Father that guides me, and all this army behind me, you better duck and run for cover. Let's be that missionary minded. Going in for the lost and the blinded. Take it back to what belongs to the king. We marching forward, dressed for war, and that is street fatigue. And when they see us stepping in, they scatter like some roaches. They won't even approach us, cause we them Jesus soldiers.
Last time I checked, the tribe of Judah lives inside of you. It is time that you stand on your feet and let your lion roar. You have been called to lay hands on the sick. When you walk in the room, you are the light and demons flee. You will cast them back down to the pits of hell. You will bind them and gag them. You will choke them out, throw them back to the feet of righteousness, because every knee will bow.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey family, this is Paula G. Voice with the Quiet Storm Devotion. You are in a season of your life, and it's a place that you've never been before. It's a place that requires a leap of faith. And as you take this leap of faith into this uncharted territory that has been placed before you, you realize that you are on the threshold of discovery. Like Christopher Columbus, you have arrived on the shores of a new world, and for you, it is called your destiny, your purpose. How do you know this to be true? How do you know that you have arrived on the shores of your destiny, your purpose? Well, God has confirmed it simply by opening the door. He has confirmed it by allowing you to wash upon the shores of this place in your life. I bet you never could have imagined that you could do what it is He has called you to do. But you know what they say. With Him, all things are possible, and indeed they are. But I know sometimes the doubt may set in and you ask yourself, is this a leap of faith or a leap of foolishness? Who? Me? Can I do this? What if I fail? What if no one believes in me? But you want so much to be set free, free from the bondage that holds you back from doing what you are called to do. Free from the day-to-day monotony, from procrastination. My beloved, God has placed so much inside of you that sometimes your spirit feels trapped. Trapped in expectation of others. Trapped in a Lifetime movie where the rewind button is stuck and there is no way for you to move forward. And as each day plays like the day before, you see everyone else's world moving forward into new chapters. New visions and new dreams, all being fulfilled. Now, this may be your season to shine. It may be your season to make changes. It may be your season to rest. It may be your season to step into your purpose, your destiny. It may be your season to learn what you need to learn in order to step into your purpose. This may be your season of greatness, or it may be your season to just be patient. It may be your season to discover yourself, a season to step back, evaluate, and make changes. You may not know how to make the changes you want to make, or you may be satisfied where you are. But somehow you need to be set free. Free from the bondages that are holding you back from doing what it is you desire to do and what you are called to do. Whatever that bondage is, break it. You have to take a leap. Whether it is a leap of faith or a leap of foolishness, either way, my beloved, you must leap. Be encouraged. This is Paula G. Voice with the Quiet Storm Devotion.
I turned around. I see you standing there. I looked into your eyes. I see you love me still, so I come running to your arms. You still love me. You don't see my wrongs. You look past them, and your grace holds me now. You still love me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. I hear your heart. It beats like mine. I'm overwhelmed with joy inside. Accept me like I am. You still love me. You don't see my wrongs. You look past them, and your grace holds me now. You still love me. It's your love that amazes me. You took me back and forgave me. You reached out just to comfort me. Now I'm safe in your arms again. I'm captivated by your love for me. Yes, your love, it was there. Only you showed that you can.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, your girl, Shay Samuels of Team the Shay, and we are sending a great big shout out to our boy, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide, aka the Batman. Happy 4th anniversary. We love you.
Thank you, Shay Samuel. Appreciate the radio drop. Appreciate you.
We love you.
Thank you. We love you too. So awesome. What a awesome period we're in right now, celebrating our 4th year of podcasting and meeting so many wonderful people through social media, which is just the awesomest thing. I don't even think, if we were doing terrestrial radio and social media was involved, I don't know if we could have that much fun. I don't know. Because I've been around those radio guys before. I used to do a little internship. I'm not going to name the radio station, but everybody was in competition. Even the interns.
Right.
It was tough. Who can get donuts the fastest and coffee? It was crazy. Yeah. But I did get a chance to meet some wonderful talk radio people. They were a little bit more genuine, I thought. But, it's what it is. But internet radio is a little different. Even though we probably eventually be in the same predicament one day, all being competitive. Right now, I think everybody trying to get on the same even playing field with their technology, I don't got a problem with it. Mm-hmm. Trying to move to the next level. It makes you better.
How do you guys, let me ask you a question. How do you guys know what, as radio personalities and owning your own radio shows, how do you know what technology to keep up with?
Well, for me, because I follow a lot of podcasters, I listen to a lot of talk show like the country guys, because remember the country guys in the same situation as gospel. A lot of those stations are going away on the FM and AM side. So they're like coming over to internet. So you do have to listen to, like for me, I'm not really jumping around a lot. Like a lot of the guys, they are like on everything, So for me, I like where I'm at. I noticed that. Yeah, I like Spreaker Radio, and like everything else would be like something extra, like iTunes, iHeart. Now iHeart is kind of special because they're paying real close attention to the end user. They understand that people in their 50s and 60s and 70s are connected, but they just not spending as much time as the younger people, so they making the apps a little bit more easier for mobile devices and in the cars. So iHeart is a favorite because it's going to make it easy for people to search their favorite station or favorite artist. So that's important. Okay. Yeah. So I think for me, it's like which one is going to be more easier for the end users. That's how, because I come from an information technology background in publishing and all that stuff, television, and you got to think about the person who your audience. What's going to be easy for them? Is it easy for them just to call up on their telephone? Because that's what happens. I get like a whole bunch of people calling the conference system, and I'm like, well, who's the guest and who are the listeners? But they over a period, I could see them eventually moving over to Facebook Live. They starting to understand how to use Facebook. So, but Facebook is okay if you're home, but when you're on the road, you need something a little bit more powerful, like TuneIn, Spreaker Radio, and maybe Blog Talk Radio, which is they still not that user friendly to me. They user friendly for the podcasters, but not the listeners to me. So that's
it seems intricate. The more, I see that like radio is going a lot more mobile, so you can really do it wherever. I know for our very first conference, we had WIGO here. It's WIGO AM here in Georgia, and they actually came to the station and did a live feed from the church. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time that I ever even realized that radio stations could do that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think about like Street Beat. I didn't think about Street Beat, and but when they came, they were live, and people were actually coming because of the feed. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you guys can do, and he actually used some type of internet cord. So I'm like, this is very sophisticated.
Yeah, they could plug up to anybody's. But now they're making it even more easy. Like, for example, I can do a live podcast from anywhere with my iPhone. because the company I use, they make it real easy, and I can plug my microphones to it. You know, of course, a lot of people using expensive headphones like Beats and Bose, and they sound really good. Bose headphones sound excellent. So you can take your podcast. Now, I can't do all the tricky stuff like mixed music and stuff, but I could do a talk show.
Right.
But if
right.
Now, I have taken my show on the road to Cambridge, Maryland once. I took my mixers, I took mics and stuff. It took a little longer to hook stuff up because I can plug in everything through the laptop. So that was pretty easy.
Theirs was a little different, though, because they actually had somebody come in. They had someone at the station that was playing the music, and they communicated with that station. So if I were the person that was at the venue, and I would say, well, back to you, Jerry, and then you start playing the music.
Yeah, but guess what? That's kind of no different than what we do with Paula. Like, for example, Dr. Paul. When Dr. Kelly does his Bible study on Tuesday nights, he's not here. He's in Augusta, Georgia, and I play. You know, him and Dr. Trinell send me their music list. Like, he's not real picky. He'll just say, "Oh, I want you to play Carlessa's music," so I just play anything I want. So basically, people wouldn't know that I'm controlling the engineering from here. You know, if it wasn't for Facebook, you wouldn't even know it. You know, so just think that. See, I
think you're the first person I saw on Facebook, though.
Yeah. See, he can do. Yeah, remember, Dr. Kelly can go anywhere. Like, one time he did a show from Las Vegas. A lot of people didn't know that. He was in Vegas on him and his wife was like on that little date. And he called in just like you. Like right now, you could do a show and you give me a song list and I could play the music and nobody will know it. You know? You can go remote.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
and it takes the limit off of people, too.
Yeah, especially
who want to be in radio.
Yeah, you want to be in radio and you really don't want to be pushing buttons and stuff. You just want to talk. Like, you know, Paula and them, when they come on my show, they don't have to worry about, you know, the stress. Like, I think Dr. Trinell said it, you know, no stress.
I'm horrible at radio.
No, you're great. You just, I mean, you're artist.
Well, no, not the talking.
Say you say you're horrible at radio? Why you say that?
I'm hard. Well, I'm not. The talking is fine. So when you said if you want to talk, I'll talk all day. But I remember being at a San Antonio station years ago, like 3 years ago, when we first started out our ministry. We traveled to San Antonio because we had an event there, but we were on one of their radio stations, and he let me DJ for the day. And that whole fade out and fade back in, and this dial goes to this, like, that's not my forte.
Yeah, you know what? Now everything is software driven. We actually have that same little setup in the software. I can switch over, and what happens is I can load the music that I want to play, and I can actually fade in and fade out. But I don't really fool with that, because that means I have to pull the music off of a playlist every time. So what I do, I just play the music from a playlist. So it's just a matter of just clicking and, you know, playing whatever you want. So they're making it a lot of easy, because this platform that we're on is really a DJ platform. But when the record labels and the record distributors got really strict about us playing music that we don't have license for, a lot of those DJs went away because they were getting in trouble, and the platforms were dropping their accounts because they were getting fined. Because I'm telling you, it was a lot of Spanish stations on here, Hispanic, and those guys had like 100,000 followers. Because just think about it, in most of your major cities, you don't have that many or any FM Spanish channels. You know, whereas DJ is like rocking some music for them. You know, most is urban or country or whatever. You know, so they use the internet to find their music. So Spreaker was hot for a while for them. But of course, you know, things changed like last year about this time. But, you know, for us, the same thing is kind of with gospel. You know, it opened up the doors for you guys now, because you guys were locked out of FM stations pretty much if you weren't from a major label, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
So look how that's
why we love you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you. But let me ask you this though, Shay, before we get out of here. That was one of the things I was asking. I know a lot of you look at what you're doing as a ministry, and it seemed like even though you're getting some of these powerhouse internet radio stations that's coming about, because if you go to iTunes, you can find some really good gospel stations, but they are operators from FM, so they still treat you the same way. It's like you guys are still locked out of getting into, their rotation. But as far as like powerhouse independent stations, like you got Reggie Rich with Rejoice America doing his thing. You got Jay Williams making a lot of noise in Atlanta. So you got some Atlanta stations and North Carolina stations doing a thing. You're not really getting anything from New York yet. I haven't really found anybody. It was one guy, but he's still struggling with the technology. So what I wanted to ask you, now that there are some guys that's starting to understand it, because I know Tony Gill, he's starting to operate Spreaker Radio as a radio station. He's been doing it since, I think, July. Now you got these guys doing their thing, bringing the power, right? When you think that the gospel artists on the independent side is going to start treating it like a business and not a ministry?
Well, you said, when do I think?
Yeah.
I think so I can only use me, and then I can tell you that this is what happened with me. When I first started walking in the ministry, it was a little difficult for me to actually not tell the difference, but that balance wasn't there. And then because I am a business exec in my natural life, I started realizing that there is, like, we're investing into it. So we have to put money out to buy our, tracks and to get the albums and the singles completed. We have to pay money for advertising and promoters and stuff like that. And so that's, I think, when people start realizing the business aspect of it, when you start really investing in yourself.
Right.
And so if as an artist, if your goal is just to kind of push a few CDs, or if it's just to, get a couple of bookings at different churches, then you're on the ministry side. Mm-hmm. But as an artist, if you're trying to do, and it kind of just falls in your lap. But if you are doing more, you start to understand. But I think it takes some time, though. I really do. And I think it takes people like you, other people who are in the industry from a different perspective, to kind of talk that language to us.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like we're kind of walking, a cakewalk right now. And like I mentioned earlier, eventually you're going to start seeing some of these guys that are really good at what they're doing. You got Tony D, Tony Gill, you got Christine Lockett, but you still have quite a few of them still on Blog Talk Radio, which to me still got a ways to go when it comes to the quality that y'all need. Because this thing about you guys are spending all this money on your masters, and for somebody to be playing your music on Blog Talk Radio, it's kind of insulting in a way, because Blog Talk is not in HD audio yet. You know what I'm saying? So until that happens, because I heard they did do some upgrades where it's kind of like a stereo switch that the operators can use. I haven't heard it yet. But what you just said with the artist starting to move into a business, but they have to learn it, because like for you, you're a manager. You understand what it takes to operate a business. When you're trying to find
operate a business,
right? So, like you just said, a lot of these guys are going to churches, which is more like a ministry, because it's not like they going there to sell CDs. It's like they just going there to share their music and their love of the art and their love for the Lord with the parishioners. Okay. But what's going to happen when you start treating it like Brandon Watson? You're like going on international tours, like Arthur Rowland. He's a Grammy winner. He understands that to operate a record label, you need revenue. He don't need people doing tours singing to 5 people and 10 people, or people who are on retirement income. You need real listeners. So now you have to go to the airwaves. Okay. Now, this is the thing that I'm waiting to see a trend happen. Okay. And this is one of the things that me and Dr. Trinell was talking about one time. It's like, she mentioned it to me. She said, when are the artists are going to start buying advertising? Like we get, distributors, record labels. Who else we get? Mostly people who are like authors. They buy ads. They understand. You know, they understand that you just can't spend 1 month. You know, buy one ad for 1 month. You know, it's like you gotta like build a relationship with their radio station. And now that people have so many distractions as far as entertainment concerned, you know, they jumping around from Facebook to Instagram to Xfinity to Netflix. You know, they got 101 things they could do in that 30 minutes. You know,
right?
Do the radio operators really understand how to market the advertisers too? That got to be another concern too for you, right? How you?
Well, I know when I first started out and I started looking at advertisement. Now, again, you're like a first of many for me because in meeting you, if I didn't know you, I would think that you were on an FM station. Like I don't listen to radio that often, but when I do finally get to listen to it, like I do compare them to you.
Right.
So I hear you with the advertisement. I hear, you know, not only do you advertise it on the radio, but you're advertising it on your social media sites. And so people get a lot for their money if that's what it is for advertisement. Mm-hmm. But I think what happens is when you start dealing with other radio stations or some radio stations, you see that you're paying for advertisement, but they're doing the same thing that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't make sense. And again, and it could be that for somebody like me, I've done it before, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. So it's kind of like, what does that look like? You know, so new artists coming out, they may not feel like investing in an advertisement because they don't have a market, and they don't realize that there is a market when you do advertise. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what the radio stations are doing. They're building your market. So they look at the end, which is, I don't have a fan base, I don't have music, I don't have this. They look at what they don't have, so they don't see the benefit in advertisement.
Right.
But a while ago, I started thinking about, you know, how indie artists are kind of taking over. It's like indie versus mainstream. Mm-hmm. And so, like, Brandon Watson said it best, you know, there's a circle of people that you really don't know are intertwined until you meet the next person, and we all are intertwined. When I was at the Spin Awards, I realized even though I'm not a radio personality, I'm still intertwined in this circle. Mm-hmm. And what I saw there was internet stations taking over the FM stations.
Right.
This being the new way of life. And so I have a lot more fun talking to an internet station and because their push is different. Mm-hmm. You know, as a radio personality, I can just go to any network, you know, just any radio station. I don't want to name a name, but any radio station and, you know, clock in at 9 o'clock. But because it's your brand, it's your business, you promote on a whole different level, which means that your success relies on our success. So we're all pushing one another.
That's right. That's true.
And I think that's what the artists are missing. I think that's what they're missing. So going back to your question, I think that's when they'll start understanding the reality of advertisement and why it's beneficial to our careers.
That's right. And one of the things that I think, and I was talking to Dr. Paul Kelly too today. I was talking to both him and Trinell. And one of the things that I think that's going to really start making you guys understand why it's going to be so important you to start identifying your brand with some of the really good stations. You know, like one of the things they got to understand too, like for me, Facebook Live, to me, I only really make friends. I don't make friends really with the listeners. All my friends are really with the artists and I guess the other podcasters that's in our network. So when people say, oh, okay, you don't have, you know, we always average around 350, maybe 400 people. And I don't pay for Facebook ads because they know who I am already. They're my family and friends and business associates. But when it comes to Spreaker Radio, Spreaker Radio is really, really important to us because that's our international connection. And we already identified after listening to a lot of the artists for the past 4 years that you guys get way more respect in the industry from the overseas market than you do domestically. You know, so you guys spend all that time.
That is true.
You know, to me, sometimes when you guys go on those little tours, to me, it's kind of like validating you being a, you know, legitimate artist for one. But does it really help your record sales? You know, that's the question. You know,
it could though, because again, Brandon said it best. When you go overseas, you're dealing with a group of people who don't really they don't have an opportunity to hear gospel the way that we hear it here.
So we spoil.
And they don't take the gospel for granted.
Right, like we do here.
So I may hear that, and they also see even independent artists as mainstream already.
They do.
So they do.
Yeah, they do. They do. Especially in
and
Japan. In Japan, they love a couple of independent artists. They bring their whole bands out there. They said sell out performances every night. Sold out.
I had a friend once who played in Japan. He's a guitar player, but he was playing for a band there, and awesome guitar player. But they were there for about 2 months, and he said, you know, just playing on the platform. But when he would just walk to the store, he would get bombarded for autographs.
Wow.
And he's just a regular guitar player, but he would get bombarded. He couldn't go out to certain places, and he's just seeing himself as a regular person. But these people that were there, they bombarded him everywhere he went, and he's just a guitar player. He's not even the singer.
But look how Michael Jackson used to show us that. Remember how, like, if Michael Jackson came to D.C., now maybe, you know, like the little kids maybe like jumping up. But if you looked outside, I think it may have been like a good 20, 30 people was out there. He throwing stuff too. But when he's in London and those places, UK, it's like thousands and thousands of people. It's like it was a parade. It was outside. He can't go nowhere. But here, you know, he don't stop no traffic. You know, we could be sitting in the car and say, "Oh, that's Sylvester Stallone." I mean, there's a many times my wife and I was sitting downtown Baltimore Harbor, and you see a star walking through, and nobody's bothering them. You know, it's like, wow, is the people here, you know, so uppity that celebrities don't mean anything to them? You know, but you know,
that part is then the artist comes back like they come back like they are.
Yeah,
that they've arrived, they made it, and it's hard to get them back down.
Yeah, Baltimore and D.C. will give you a real rain check. I mean, a real reality check. Let me tell you, because P. Diddy, those guys had like a record recording studio right in the same building where I was working one time, and none of them girls that worked on the floor would go upstairs and knock on that door because he would have his bus right outside with his whole face, his whole body painted on it. We knew he was in there.
Wow.
And even that little kid, I forgot the guy that he brought from the South, they had that song out that was real big hit. He would be with them, and they'd just be walking down the street. And a lot of those guys, LL Cool J and Public Enemy, they would be here all the time, and they'd be in the clubs, and nobody really be bothering them. You know, maybe somebody may want to pick a fight with them or something. You know,
they just, like I said, people take it for granted, but I think what I hear when I do go to different events, you know, there are a lot of people who are from other countries, and they'll say, we need to get you over into Haiti or Jamaica, Barbados. They will tell me, like, there are people there who are striving to just get a true word of God, and they love to worship.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because they don't. But the other part of it, too, Gary, is this. The fan base, unfortunately, the fan base may not be as relevant. You know, they do get hyped up when you come.
Yeah.
But here's what also happens. The government pays for artists to come out there, where they're not doing that here. The government, they want you, they're going to pay for you, all expenses paid to come out. They're not going to, I mean, even if it's just a small event, and but they pay for you to come out.
Yeah, they do. They have big grants.
So again, we understand your value, and they don't devalue who you are as an independent artist, and they'll pay just as much as they would a mainstream artist for you to come out there.
But one of the things that I know that they've been doing here, like in D.C., when they have those those festivals that's like every Thursday or every Friday at some of those parks. The local governments do pay for those artists. They have funds set up because they're trying to, bring revenue in for some of the smaller entrepreneurs that's setting up as vendors. So they're trying to bring business in for them. So they know during the summer months, like even in Baltimore, they used to have an event at the Hopkins Center, and they would pay jazz artists to come in and help bring the revenue in for the smaller businesses. It kept the stores open longer. So sometime here they do those things, but like you said, over there they do it on a larger scale.
It's not as often.
Yeah, not
I just did an event like that in July in South Carolina, but it was the same thing. They were just trying to build up the economy in this area, and this was their second annual event, and they had over, I want to say at least 1,500 people came in and out from this event. But they want to look at trying to build this community, and they figure by bringing events and bringing in an artist. But the one thing I will say is they weren't paying for it. They probably could have, but they weren't paying the artist. I notice here, especially in America, people rather the artist pay to get on an event rather than pay them.
That's right. And sometimes
it's just backwards.
Depends on your venue. And one of the things I was going to add to you guys was, which I think is going to start helping the artists get themselves out there. They're going to need more help from the radio station. Like what's going to happen to me? Like right now, I had a playlist of 350 songs, right? But not every day we play music. We play, talk radio. Because that's what some of the listeners want. They want to, they need help with their life, so they need some help. So they want to hear some solutions, So the deal is, with us is eventually it's going to get to a point where we want to be fair to our advertisers. So that means that if we have so many artists paying us for so many rotations, that means the list is going to start shrinking. It's going to be almost like how you turn on and say, well, I just heard that an hour ago. And I think that's going to happen to us eventually.
That's my drive back to Delaware.
Yeah. And I think that's what's going to happen to us eventually when you do have record labels. Because what's happening now, you're starting to get like Dr. Newsom, you got Culpepper and these guys, and you got Irby and them got record labels. What's going to happen when these guys got all these artists on their label and they spending money on these masters and they not getting no rotation? Eventually they're going to have to start coming out their pockets and say, okay, these are the real players in internet radio. Because that's what's going to happen. These are the real players, and we got to start buying advertising for you guys. That's what's going to happen.
I believe it.
And that's what we're getting ready for.
I believe it. I think people need to understand it, though, because a lot of the, put it this way, you're kind of like in an imbalance. So you have a lot of the artists who are just not educated enough on the business side of it. And so, again, they'd rather just sell the CDs out of the back of their trunk.
Right.
And they don't really know about the advertisement. They don't see it from a business perspective. They don't see one hand washes the other. And then you have some who feel like maybe internet radio is just not for them because they're trying to push for the FM stations. So they spend more of their day calling a director at an FM station to get their music on there, and they'd rather pay the $2,500 or $5,000 it takes to get their song played for a month than to put that advertisement out at the FM station.
That's right. And they
so
get dog too.
I don't know. I mean, the one thing you do is you actually tell the listeners how many people were on that night.
That's right.
And so, or you give them something like you said. I forgot who you said was listening one night, but people are catching on to who you are as a radio personality. One day you're going to say a name, and I guarantee you, because you have some heavy hitters on your show.
Yeah,
like I'm not surprised, but the circle just keeps growing.
It is.
And I think if more people, because what we get on from an artist perspective, we get more radio stations that start up every day, and my inbox is full of people saying, "Push my station, push my station, push my station." Push my station, push my station. The San Antonio station that I used to co-host, that is an all-FM station. And there are requirements that there's like restrictions that they have that you don't, and vice versa. So I think it's just how do you monopolize off of that?
Yeah.
So there's restrictions that they have, and I know it because I've been a part of it for maybe the last 3 years. It was the very first station I was on, but I've watched the restrictions when they were an internet station to an FM. Once they became FM, the restrictions took place.
Yeah. And another thing, too.
So I think it's just all about us. Go ahead.
Yeah. And another thing, too, and this is another thing that's growing, and Dr. Kelly and I, we've been having a conversation about this for a really long time, and that's Mr. Archie. Mr. Archie's network, BGN TV. You can see that thing is spiraling into something fantastic. I mean, he's starting to get like really good, great I've been watching his promos, and he has like real high production concerts coming. So what's going to happen when, you know, at one time people were sending their Facebook footage to those guys at one time, you know, and that's considered content. It's going to get to a point where you guys are going to have to be. It's going to have to be something like what Jay Nicole was doing. You know, she hired us to come out there. Of course, she hired us to do the red carpet. I just went ahead and shot you guys for, you know, because I knew you guys. But what's going to happen when Mr. Archie going to get to the point where you can't send him no more Facebook, iPhone stuff? He want high production stuff because he can't keep his viewers glued to his network looking at iPhone stuff. Because now he's competing against Xfinity and DirecTV, Impact TV. You know, what's going to make a person want to watch his content if he's showing people with iPhone footage? You know, so he knows that he has to start having high quality stuff. And then, you know, what's going to happen too is now he's getting good content. Then that means that all the production companies that's out there that been wanting to do shows, you know, Tyler Perry type stuff. Now they say, well, now we have some place to send it. Because this thing, like right now, I was really limited to just public television, you know, and they only give you they can't even promise you a time slot. They say, oh, it's going to play on Sunday, give you the date, but they can't tell you the time, you know. So you're like, okay, that's no fun. And that was exciting for me at first when I was a creator, you know, filming events and stuff or whatever, sending it to them. But I was like, I don't know when it's going to play. I was excited they took it. Like I had a guy, it was a Chicago public TV station was interested in some stuff I did, but they couldn't tell me where it was going to play. Plus I couldn't access them. But now that the internet is streaming so powerful now, that a lot of times you can find, now this is what I was telling Dr. Kelly today. I said, Dr. Kelly, even though Maryland Public Television probably couldn't like promise me like a time slot when we're going to run Blackout Live or something like that, but they have an awesome website. I mean, it's a really nice website. And they put a lot of their programs on the website, which to me is almost as phenomenal you sitting on your TV waiting for something to come on. You know what I'm saying? Because you can watch it on your mobile device and wherever you go. So I thought
there's just so many possibilities. I think we just need to find it, and we ourselves need to just get a little bit more creative with what's out there. That's how I am. My brain will just say, it's something out there. I know it is. Yeah. I just have to know what to tap into.
Yes. And I think you guys are doing good, you know, like taking advantage of some of these showcases. Because like at one time I used to always say, wow, what's the value of you guys leaving your home, getting on a plane, spending money for a car, Uber, whatever, and go to a showcase and there's no cameras there. You know, it's just people with their iPhones and stuff. Yeah. But then I was starting to look at it, I said, because now God is taking everything to different levels and you're finding these new players coming involved on the production end, it's doing nothing but just giving y'all stage experience more than anything. You know? Yeah.
Well, you know, ironically, Jay Nicole's event was the first showcase that I've ever done because most of the events that I get booked for are for either women's conferences or actual, like, church events or concerts in itself.
Yes.
So that was the first showcase that I did. But I will say it was a very good experience because that probably was maybe the third biggest stage that I've been on.
Wow.
But like I said, when you videoed me and you sent me the footage, I didn't even I looked at more of my stage. I looked at what I can do to get better. Like, that's what I looked at. And what you put together normally I might get on a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Not unless I'm bringing my own production team, but that's going to cost money for me to bring my own production team, for me to bring, camera crew. I mean, it's expensive for me to have it here. So, but that was the first showcase that I had ever done. And I was excited to see all the other artists that were there, because I don't get a chance to see that often.
That's right.
I don't get a chance to be like in that arena.
That was a nice. I love that place. That was a really. I was telling him, I said that was a really nice theater. Stadium seating. But guess what? I found another one like that here in Baltimore. You wouldn't believe it where it is. You just don't know what's here in the city. I was just so shocked. We partner up with a stage production here. And we were invited to come out and do the interviews, right? I wasn't going to film we weren't contracted to film the stage production, because we're going to try to put that under a more controlled environment. It was at Johns Hopkins, and Johns Hopkins has this brand new school, this downtown where it used to be like row houses. It was like, what happened to the row houses? What happened to the community? The security guard said, "Oh, that stuff is gone, man. They just took control of this. It was like a campus, and they had this theater in there, and this thing was phenomenal. It was like a cultural arts center. And I went in there and looked at that thing, stadium seating, the lighting. I mean, he had the big super stage lights. I mean, this thing was like Broadway. I said, get out of here. I could rent, and the woman, she said she had rented that spot out a couple of times, the Playwright. I said, I didn't even know this place was here. And here I'm thinking about going all the way back to Messiah College to do a similar production, because we're looking at doing that kind of stuff. Because I could see that's a lot of pressure for someone that's an artist trying to put on an event like that, which was great for her, but it kind of like, it'd be more beneficial for someone like my company to do something like that, because we have the stage hands there. We'll be able to control this lighting, and it'd be more about the recording than it is about the audience that's sitting there. You guys would just be like a live audience, because she didn't look at that. Because I used to kept telling her, I said, why you spend so much energy with a live show when this could be like taped and recorded and be like really awesome, And I don't think she really got it, until I started releasing the tape to her, And now you're talking about you got contract issues now, issues because now nobody knew that they really was being recorded, and this is something that could have been used.
I think that's just too much, though. I think that's too much, though, Jerry, because it's like we ain't there yet. Like, I'm sorry, nobody was there.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. You guys not there yet.
Nobody that was there. Nobody. And I'm not being funny, but nobody that was there was a Tasha Cobbs, the Kaylin Carr, Kahari Joe, and so to have to go through that much, if you're doing that now, you're going to hinder yourself 100% from getting anything. I mean, if God can trust you with little, he can trust you with much. And if you making that much noise, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, the promo you did is more of a promotion, and probably better promotion than any of them actually ever have. And I don't know, because I don't know who that contract issue is with, but I think about those things too, and that's another hindrance. That's why I ask the questions I do when I'm on the show, because I think as artists we need to understand the opportunities.
Right.
If one hand washes the other. One hand washes the other. You did an awesome job with getting the footage and you broke it down. You didn't just give a stream of artists. You gave each artist specifically something that they could use for promo. And I think when you start getting into someone talking about contract issues, or it's not fair to her, it's not fair to you, and we just got to humble ourselves where we are right now.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because for example, like you said, for example, okay, you guys knew from the jump that it's going to be a production. It said this thing is going to be a production. They're going to tell you, because basically a lot of you was just stay out there because you wanted to, do ministry. It was going to be a big crowd there. But what's happening now is the live audiences are starting to get smaller, and most of your live audiences are artists like yourself, I'm finding out, like at these showcases. So I'm like, I'm finding out that some of you guys are getting better and better and better at your stage presence. And I think you guys are going to be at that point eventually. Because I remember I was talking to someone before and they said, yeah, you could tell that. I was talking to GP. Glenn said, yeah, that guy, you could tell he's a worshiper, praise and worship leader. Because the way he took control of the stage, this guy had blew everybody out pretty much that you guys, everybody sang well, sound good. But his stage presence was just so powerful. It's like, oh, he could be the next Kirk Franklin if he chose to. Right. He got the experience from every Sunday, So what's going to happen when you got some more Archies, you got some Blessed Networks, you got the Blessed Group, and all these guys are looking for content creators, and which that's what I'm called, a content creator. To give you guys like really, because remember, right now the only real show in town right now is the Dr. Bobby Jones gospel, right?
Yeah.
But it's 3 tiers, and what they're looking for to get you up to that top tier, you got to have that stage presence. They're looking for, right?
Yeah,
that's what he's looking for. So how you get the experience if you don't get a chance to be, because it's different shooting a music video than when you shooting a live concert. Like you said, there's certain things you want to see. You want to know what the viewers are looking at when they see you on the stage. And the only way you're going to see that is you got to start getting in front of those cameras.
Yeah, the other part of it too is I remember the first stage that I actually was on, and it was a huge stage, and it's a lot. This goes back into like studying to show yourself approved, but I remember having to go from one side to the left side of the stage to the right side of the stage. Go back over to the left side of the stage, because you have to work. You really do have to work your audience.
Right.
And so you can't be on the left side singing all the time, and then you forget about the people on the right. Mm-hmm. You get up, people on the right, you can't forget about the people in the middle.
That's right.
And when you work a big stage like that, you got to be conditioned all the way around. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and people just don't get the true life of an artist. But then, like I said, you have people like you and others that are looking at it from a different perspective that give us insight, and you either grow from it or you don't.
That's right. You are. And the way I see this internet television thing is starting to develop just like the radio is. The only thing, the difference is right now is the radio technology is here. They're just waiting for the operators to get to it and start operating it correctly. The deal with television, you have all of these platforms out there, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Chrome. All these guys are out here right now with these channels available. But I was telling Kelly, I said, the only people, and I had told this to the Blessed Network before too, Dr. Bello. I said Roku is the only one making money. I went and looked at all those people who got subscriber channels, and they had no real content. They had bad actors and bad web series, all that stuff. I said, if you're going to be a real network executive, you got to start taking advantage of YouTube like the way Netflix and Comcast do. HBO, they go in there and look at these guys' web series who got these really good actors and producers and writers, and they're offering them contracts. They just taking local people and trying to make a show out of it. It's not going to work because now you're going to get a bad reputation. You're going to get a bad reputation. But
nowadays you just have to do something really stupid in order for you to make it, if that's what your goal is.
Right. But I'm thinking about the network executives though, like just like Brandon Watson, he got a reality show coming out, and I'm quite sure that right now he gonna be, I call this, he might get that LL Cool J contract. Remember LL Cool J had gotten that real bad contract because, you're excited now. You got discovered. The record label put anything on that contract, you don't get no lawyer to review it. And the lawyer that is thinking about your future, he not thinking about the moment. So you can go back and tell your buddy, man, I just got signed to so-and-so. Yeah, but he only paying you 1 penny per album for 10 years.
Yeah, I think people don't get that. I think people are striving for the wrong thing, Jerry. I think I mean, when you start looking at what, because people are looking at like what it used to be, even in radio. Like I said, they don't know the options of the opera. Like the first time I even heard about TuneIn app was when I started being on the radio. I didn't know anything about MP3 files, MP4 files, a wave when I first started. And nobody taught me what I knew. I had to figure it out. And the way I figured it out was by people telling me when they reached out to me. You have a beautiful voice. We want to book you for this event. Do you have a video? And I didn't have any videos. Do you have an MP3? I didn't know what an MP3 was. I had to Google it. You have an MP4. You have a wave file. And radio would all ask for something completely different, So I learned as I went. But I also realized, too, that the internet stations like yours are the stations that I didn't even know they existed.
That's right.
And I think that it's the new wave, and that's just my opinion. I think that's the new wave. So like I said, I spend more of my time wanting to support like these stations because I understand that this is the new wave.
That's right. And
you're right
about that.
And I think artists just have to get a handle on that. I think that we're thinking, not we, but as artists, we're thinking we have to get on that FM station.
Mm-hmm. And they going away. They becoming Amber Alerts.
Yeah, they're going away. We're thinking we have to get that label. We're thinking we have to get that distribution. We're thinking we have to get, because that's what it looked like when the Temptations were out, or Michael Jackson made his big deal. But they don't know. If you really look at these bios, my husband's good for doing this. He'll look at these bios with like Tribe Called Quest and how they were, they had a hit song and they were big and people thought that they were making all this money. Mm-hmm. Come to find out when they did this video that they weren't even getting paid for it. They were still sleeping on the couch with a hit song.
They're having a lot of them. TLC had the Red Man and Method Man and all those guys. They was living in little small little houses like what we had. It was like we drove better cars. Yeah. So it's like,
right. And so they were worse off because they probably have more money to pay back. But that's what people are looking at, and they're like, "This is what we want to be." And so I don't know. I would charge anybody. It wouldn't be me because I don't know. But I think when these workshops come out, when it comes down to like what the industry looks like right now, like Spin Awards was a for me, a spinoff.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a spinoff for me where it was like I respected the craft of radio so much more.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I have friends that are on the FM stations and the AM stations. And when I asked them, I'm like, I didn't see you at the radio awards. You know what they told me? 2 of them told me this. They didn't take it seriously.
Wow.
But they heard they missed out, and I could not tell you a fib. They heard about it. They got the invite, but because this person just came out of nowhere and was doing it, they thought that it was going to be some fly-by-night event. And then, but you know what they did say? We'll be there next year.
That's right. They got to take that thing serious. For one, we do things that they don't do. Our customer service is bar is way higher. And the one thing that help us too is Facebook Live. Yes. Facebook Live I get fans inboxing me all the time, and I respond back to them. I try my best, if I'm in the bathroom, wherever I am, if I'm at a red light or wherever, I say, okay, let me respond to this person because it's something they needed from me at that time.
Yeah.
Whether they say, oh, I listened to your show. I enjoyed the interview you did with so-and-so. I just bought his music. I just bought her music. I just bought so-and-so's book. And I'm going to tell you something that blew my mind one day. It was like 12:30, 1 o'clock. And the author that was on our show inboxed me and said, I went from number 28 to number 10 when the show ended. I was like, get out of here. So now I'm starting to understand the power of the internet. Okay, she went. Yeah, who knows where her sales came from? I don't know if it was overseas or was the Facebook Live. Was it the artist that most that's who my friends on Facebook. Was it them? And I know you guys are busy and you guys can't always tune in every day because y'all working on your music. You're trying to get your rest. But she said she went from number 28 to number 10 by the time the show ended, and she was blown away. She said, I got to buy an ad for me.
Wow.
I want to buy an ad. And
wow.
So that's a trend that can easily. So now you're starting to understand your value. And I said, okay, because even my main sponsor is getting international sales right now. I mean, I saw all these people on her Facebook page who are doing testimonies because they've been with her, because I think she's been with me since September. Now because she was depressed one time because she wasn't getting any, she had just advertised maybe 30 days and she wasn't getting, people sign up. I went to her Facebook page. She has all of these clients and they sending before and after pictures. I said, wow, the internet is real. It's here. Yeah. It's real now. It's not just for socializing and planning. It's real business being done.
This is real.
By black people, because we never had anything like this before. Black people, we had our communities, and when we all were in the communities that were making money, it was great. When the guy wrote that book called Black Wall Street, that was a community that was striving because they were making money off of the oil fields that they had at the time, and they were able to have banks and stores, and they were thriving. But then when black people decided they wanted to move out to the suburbs and the world because they're making money, they took the money out of their communities and it just left the people who that was just on government assistance. Businesses can't survive off of them. They can't. That's why the price is so high for a can of tuna or soup, whatever. You pay like triple the price because they know you don't have a car to take you to Wegmans or Whole Foods or whatever. So to get back to this, I'm just hoping that the record executives can start teaching. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say I think it's going to be time that a lot of the independent artists will have to start signing up or start getting management to help manage them. So when that record executive promotes or buy advertisement, he's buying it for the record label. So when he start releasing music, the audience, the listeners are starting to come familiar with it's like they're gonna start knowing you like a Sony and Arista Records and stuff, because they need to be. I think like Dr. Newsom, his station, his record label has to start becoming like a household brand. And even Corinth.
I mean, that would be the goal. Right, like you don't just have a label just to have it.
Right. Even Corinth, because I know Corinth's like, I don't buy no advertising. I don't even buy videos. Eventually, if you're going to be competing against, what's going to happen? Yeah, think about this. What's going to happen when David Benton? Now, David Benton is a smart guy. He has his record label now, and I didn't know he had one. He told me yesterday, he said, yeah, Jerry, I've been had this record label. I was like, we just hearing about it. What's going to happen when this guy say, okay, you got these people who've been out here all this time, right, with these businesses, and they've been playing around, and now David's going to say, okay, I'm going to be taking my earnings, I'm going to be investing in my record label. So now I'm looking at the top 3 radio stations, and because most of all of them are global and probably hitting in the same market, I can just buy into one. Which one is going to be the one? This
is what the smart move would be to get connected with the Nielsen broadcasting system as an artist, right? Mm-hmm. And then we can start seeing like where the music is being played, what stations is getting rotation on, and and I don't know if you guys like it's the internet station, but I think you do. I think. Don't you? Are you? Can you attach yourself to Nielsen Broadcasting?
The problem is they can't really. They having problems where they can't really measure how many times artist music is being played. We have to tell them. In other words, like okay, like right now, my playlist has 105 songs. So I try to pick like the top 105, like the new releases and stuff people haven't heard yet, right? 105 songs.
Right.
Each song averages close to 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes. So you figure you multiply 5 into 100. That's like, and then you divide that with, I guess, 60 minutes. And then it'll tell you like when the next time that song going to be rotated again. So the artist kind of have an idea when it'll be rotated where it falls at. So because my station is 24/7, 365 days a week, what's going to happen is, and I think Dr. Chanel said, the artists or the record labels will eventually have to start marketing themselves with the talk shows, okay? Because the listeners are tuning in, like, especially the first 10, 15 minutes. They want to hear who the guests are. Can the guests carry the show? You know, like sometimes you get some weak guests that can't carry the show, but they may have like really good music. So that's why sometimes I open up with the music, because I don't know if the guests can really carry the show, you know. But that's why I'm building a great stable of personalities, because if you look at FM, because I know you can't recreate the wheel. Steve Harvey, Michael Bazin. I said sometimes it's not worth trying to recreate the wheel. So if you look at like Steve Harvey, Michael Bazin, Ricky Smiley, it looks like the most important thing for that host is he has to build a great team, you know, because sometimes he can't carry the show. A lot of times people want to hear, and even Tom Joyner, you know, it's like he may, my wife doesn't really care for Tom Joyner, but she like listen to the intelligence of his co-hosts, you know how they carry it, you know, like maybe like one of the sisters on the show is a Delta, so they're going to support her. So now she got 1 million women listening to her show. I mean, listen to his show because of her, or maybe the brother on the other end is a Kappa, so all his brothers are supporting him on the show. So it's like they're building their team, you know, a personality. And that's what I've been trying to do too, is finding people that's a good fit, got good timing, you know, can carry a conversation.
Well, I'm glad that I can be a co-host.
Yeah, glad to have you. I mean,
I'm glad I'm a good fit.
Yeah, because you bring something special to, you know a lot about the music, where, you know, we're learning from you and from our guests. You know, as time come on, you know, coming in the studio and
I think it's awesome.
It is. It's so important. And then at the same time, the artist can learn from you, and you know certain questions to ask them because of your experience in the studio and music videos. Like, this is a thing I wanted to ask you too.
I think I trick them up.
Yeah, you can. Now, this is something that was kind of a concern with me, because I really research everything. Okay.
Right.
I'm finding out because of the internet, right? I'm starting to find out that, and this is because I was watching this one guy, what he was doing. I'm finding out that you're really good singers, they really don't need to have a music video with all of these locations, different locations on it. Because you know what happens?
Right.
It's starting to be boring to the viewers, because one, a lot of the videos don't tell a story. There's no emotions.
Right.
It's like the guy, the director is just trying to be creative and take his skill set to the next level. But we have seen so many videos and I think the reason is because it's not enough independent gospel videos to want people want to sit and look at them. Like, if you can sit on one channel and look at like 50 of them, then it's going to be cool. But it's not like that right now. It's not that many of them.
Yeah.
They want you to want to keep looking at it. So that means you guys will create a video, and a viewer only really want to look at it just that one time. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah. It was ironic because for my first video, which I'll end up doing over, but I kind of monopolized off of where we were at the time. So I choose to worship. Originally, it was supposed to be just me walking down like a brownstone sidewalk, headphones on, and me just singing I Choose to Worship, walking past some people and smiling and just singing the song. And then for me, it was like at a time where we were going through all of this, like the Black Lives Matter, and we were going through like the debates, and people were talking about prayer. You know, they were taking people to court because they were praying in public places. It was just crazy how like all this stuff was coming up, and then my husband and I, we started thinking about like how we could use the video to monopolize off of where we are now. So when people see it, like I've had a lot of politicians reach out to me about the video, and they thought it was awesome because it speaks to, like, I start my video off with a kind of a short film. But where it lost the attention of people is they don't want the short film; they just want the song.
Right.
Like they didn't want the education. They didn't want the education. They just wanted the song.
Exactly.
And so, and so even though there was a point made and there was a guide to what we were doing, and what it was within the story, it was the guy who was really giving us a hard time. So there were 4 panelists who were basically there to kind of give us the laws. Here's the laws. We're here to talk about the laws. Now we want to hear the people speak, and the people are like, we choose to worship, right? And then the guys that were with him, they one by one started to get up, and they were like, we don't want no part of this, because this guy was really like against prayer. And so as the song went on, you could just see one by one their hearts started to soften up to what we were saying. And eventually he was the only one sitting at the table, and then we invited him in. So we were talking about redemption, restoration. Like, we want to make sure that you understand we choose to worship. We still love you even though you were against us. So we invited him in to party with us. And he came over, and then you can see him set free. So people understood the concept, but in true life, they don't want the concept. Nope. They want the video.
That's right. And
that's it. They want the video.
And see, for me, I was, in the beginning, I was like a real fanatic with videos, because like even before BET, I used to love watching Midnight Special. And I noticed if you think way back, like in the 80s and the 90s, the rock bands were like the phenomenal groups back then, but they did not spend a lot of time with a storyline. Because after you've seen it a couple of times, it's like your brain don't really want to see that again. They spend more time showing you a live concert, and they may add in little pieces with the guy, maybe with a girl when he's in his favorite car or whatever, but they don't spend the whole time making a movie out of it. They go right back to them being on stage, and then they spend a lot of time showing the action part with the drummers. They don't spend time with the saxophone players. They spend time with the guy that's dancing and moving around. And that's when hip-hop videos jump, because remember, you think about hip-hop videos did good because they always had really good dancers in them. And while Michael Jackson and Beyonce videos were hot in the beginning because they did a lot of movement. And people wanted to emulate them, and they wanted to do what they were doing. Like, think about this, artists. When you go to a wedding or a 50th or 60th birthday party, what is the funnest part about being at that party or that wedding? It's watching the people dance.
The reception.
Yeah, watching the people dance.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of weddings. You've seen people walk down. Listen, the bride trips and fall. It ain't going to be nothing exciting about that wedding. The exciting part is the reception. You want to watch people dance, or you want to be up there dancing, letting people watch you dance. If you one of those kind of people, how some people like attention, they like that stage. So you think about that, because this is what happened when my wife and I went to my sister-in-law party, and I had so much fun watching other people dance too. As much, because I did my little thing when my legs started hurting, so I had to give it up. But it was just so much fun watching, especially like if it's a little kid that can dance, he would just take it over. Look at little Jimmy doing his thing, backflipping and doing James Brown. And I remember when I was a little kid, that was the thing that really had really blew my mind when I saw my first James Brown concert, because James Brown, he tore the stage up. It wasn't his singing that captivated everybody. It was his dancing. Prince too.
Dancing,
Prince too. It's not like they were the greatest singers. Most of your performers are the ones that sell the most albums because they can perform. And then, of course, they master it up a certain way so they can sound good enough. They match the tracks with their voice, for one. So,
and I think too, what artists have to understand, like you said, with the stage presence, we have to learn how to keep the audience involved.
That's right.
And for me, I think my worship is more for you to get it for yourself. So I've heard people say to me like, "Oh my God, we love the way you sing, and it was awesome that you brought the audience in, but we came to hear you sing, and we want to hear more of you." Which I think is funny, because if I went to a Patti LaBelle concert, I was singing more in the audience than she was on stage.
Yeah. That's because
we all knew the song.
Yeah, Patty fans, that's what it is. I used to hate going to Patti LaBelle fans and all the fans singing a song. I was like, I ain't come here to hear y'all. Even when Alicia Keys.
You came to hear her sing, but she did it. She did the way she did it.
Right,
and
that's her thing.
I think that's the whole point of my worship. The whole point is for you to get it for yourself. So my goal is to make sure that when you leave from there, that it's not just another chance for you to hear somebody sing, but I want to offer an experience that you can take to work with you can take home with you, that you won't forget it, but when in times of trouble, you'll know exactly what to do.
That's right.
So I think you're only good in public to the degree you practice in private, and every moment that we have together is a private moment, even though we're in public.
That's right.
So if I can teach you how to do that, if I can show you how to do it, if I can, and it's not just me, I can get in front of you and sing all day, but I want you to leave out of there understanding what true worship feels like. And I've been, by the grace of God, I've been successful each time. Even at the J. Nicole event, people were like, why'd you only do one song?
No, one song.
They were like, why'd you only do one single?
One song, you was done. I know, one and done. And I'm glad,
and it was.
And you said something so important, though, getting that big stage, being on that big stage and not just, because you did really well. You was getting the people involved. You had that energy and it looked good on camera. It's like that was something that you can study and say, okay, next time I want to know where the cameras are. I know where my audience are, and I'm going to play the both of them.
I didn't even know that there was a camera there.
Right, because it wasn't really, she knew that we was going to do some stuff for her promo for her next event. It really wasn't like it was for you guys, because like you said, you would have already known in front. She would have had a meeting and say, look, y'all, this is going to be a production. It's going to be film. If it come out good enough, it's an opportunity for us to stream this overseas.
Very authentic, though.
Everybody would get paid, and let's give a real good show. Let's have rehearsals. The whole 9 yards. Or she handpicks the people that she's seen performances on YouTube, on Facebook, and say, okay, I want this person, that person. We're paying for this production. This is going to be live. Hey, and now this is something that my production company is looking at right now. We're actually shopping. We're actually looking at a studio right now. Right now. I remember Pastor Keith Ron Powell and his wife were at a VH1 event, and I thought he thought that VH1 was trying to venture down that road with getting to the gospel business where they were going to start like entertaining mainstream and real good independence. There was a lot of energy in that house because he had the thing on his Facebook Live, so they was looking at another channel getting into the game. Right? Because right now there's only Dr. Bobby Jones that's really doing anything, right? And he has those different tiers where he's watching how you guys can work the audience, work the cameras, and then maybe you'll be invited to go to the next level. Because remember, when he's spending all that money on that big production team, because he got them real good camera guys and really good camera and the lighting, the audio control guy, he's not going to just put anybody in front of the camera. He want to see what you look like before. You're going to have stage fright. Okay, great. You did look good on video, but that was rehearsed and dubbed over with masters and cleaned up. Because I've seen some people that did really, really good videos, but when they performed live, they were awful. They died right on stage. But it was a good experience for them, though, because they got a chance to see what we saw and got better. So
yeah, I think that for me was just awesome to see it. And every video I watch, I just did Hosea Feed the Hungry for Thanksgiving, and that was another big stage. And everything that could go wrong went wrong on that stage. But I watched from the view the girl recorded it. I watched how I handled it. So I was singing. The drum kit kept falling off the stage that it was falling off of. And because we were set up to sing initially, and then there was another group that went up, my keyboard player's mic was moved. So when we got up there, we didn't realize that they had moved all of our stuff.
Wow.
And I started singing and didn't realize, I realized as I was singing that I didn't hear him harmonizing with me. So when I looked over,
he had no mic.
When I looked over, I saw he didn't have his mic. And so I walked over to him while I was singing to help him fix his mic. And the drum kit fell off. It kind of like fell off the stage. The bass player stopped playing.
Whoa.
But I noticed with all the chaos, I never stopped singing.
Wow. That's experience.
I never stopped singing, and I was really proud of myself. I watched it, but I was proud of myself because I never lost energy. A lot of stuff was happening. Yes, you could see it right there. And I'm glad it happened the way it did because it showed me how professional I am, and that if that were else, because people would fall doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, people would probably fall doing that. Like any amateurs or even independent artists that don't understand, and I don't know where I get that from. That's just the grace of God. But I just involved the people more. Dancers came up to the front. They were singing. They were dancing. But I watched how all of that fell apart just in that 1 second, and just right after that, everything came back, and we just ended up still worshiping.
Yeah. Well, I just want to put it out there that, you know, I want everybody to watch out for Positive Power. We definitely about to take. Now, you saw what I got a lot out of Blacked Out Live. Just a few artists who've been here. I think it's been like 5 of y'all been here. And just from that alone has given us so much vision of where we're going with our television production, our film company, that it's like crazy, you know. Because at one time I was thinking about going and invest money into a bigger studio. But then after I started listening to some of these experts out there, they said, why do that when you have these studios that already exist, you know, that you can rent, you know, already got the experience.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I don't know where this will go or who will hear it, but I will say that I do believe that Positive Power is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, you already are, but I believe that the name is going to start ringing bells all over the world. And I think that when people start looking at what radio looks like, they'll be looking to you. And you may not know how many people are already studying you and what you do. So don't take that for granted. But I do believe that you'll be a staple in the radio industry. You are that already, but I do believe that you'll be one that everybody recognizes and will want to mimic what you do.
Thank you, Shay. And I'm gonna tell you, this radio platform has been something that I've always wanted to do since I was a CB radio operator. And to me, this is just 1/3 of what Positive Power is as a media company. You know, like the television, the film, all of that all comes together because this gives us a chance to connect with our listeners becoming our viewers, and our guests becoming our clients. You see what I'm saying? So I get a chance to build relationships and networks and be able to go to awards. Because I mean,
and that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I need to get on my grind.
That's right, because I mean, how
a light bulb just went off.
Yeah, like how the Spin Awards was like so big. Like even though it was her first event, I can just imagine what her second, third, fourth, and fifth is going to be like. So you think
I told you those FM stations, they weren't coming, and then they said they heard about it. They'll be there next year.
Yeah, she's going to be the Stellas soon. She's going to be on that level, the Doves and all of them. I mean, Mr. Appointed.
Let me tell you, she did. She did. She was amazing.
It was. She don't play. She was studying individuals. I mean, I was going to awards and she was there. Even if she got there late, she got there just in time to see what they were doing. She was probably taking notes and talking to them and put her team together. And next thing you know, she did that. I mean, when I walked in that front door and I saw that red carpet, I was already impressed right there. I didn't even see the theater. But to me, nothing. And
I had been at that venue before.
Yeah, it was nice. But I'm gonna tell you, that Messiah College was awesome too. That was a really nice venue, But of course, it was in the PA area.
Oh yeah, that was a nice venue. Like I said, the last 2 events that we've been at together, they have been very impressive.
Yes.
Very, very, very impressive.
Because I think, to me, I think some of these production companies or these executives are going to be getting away from the hotels, because the hotels are not going to give you the space you need. Because I've been to a couple events where they try to give them at like the Comfort Inns, these little small dinky hotels, and they just don't give you what you can get. Like to me, like Morgan, I'm gonna tell you this: if Positive Power gave an award show like what the Spin did, I would have that bad boy either at Morgan, Coppin State, Coppin University, or Johns Hopkins, because they have the theaters, and a lot of them don't even charge no more than $800 or $1,000 to have a lighting technician and an audio technician.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even try to even use a hotel facility, because they don't really have the system. You got to pay a guy to bring his system in to even come anywhere close to what those amphitheaters can do. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think the people who are putting on these award shows, they're going to be competing soon, because eventually you artists are not going to be wasting your money going to award shows and not putting no money into the production, because then you'll be thinking, okay, I could be going to Stellar Award Week and doing showcases, getting in front of, like radio people and TV, because just think, there's going to be more Mr. Archies that's going to be coming along once they get this technology, and then there's more content, because like I'm always on YouTube. And in certain genres, I'm not talking like the music part, but like the movies and the sports, they have real good content creators. These guys have like really good cameras. They put out really good professional stuff. But like in y'all genre, that's going to get better. Because I was listening to Reggie. Reggie told me he's in film school. He was pretty impressed with what we did when we came to his event. He saw the quality of our production. And that's nothing, because I ain't have no control of the lighting, the sound, or nothing. That was in my production. But just imagine when I do my own production and I got control, when the music comes on. Just like when you were here, I can control the lighting, the sound. Oh yeah, you're going to be impressed with the sound quality. I put a 1,000-watt system in here. Yeah.
I can't wait. I saw my calendar. I said, "Oh, he's already locked me in."
Yeah, I was ready.
I can't wait.
I liked you. I was ready.
Yeah, I'll be there until.
I fixed all of that.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go, Jerry. I got people waiting on me at 9 a.m. in the morning.
That's right. Me too. I gotta get up. I forgot you had that. And I wanted you to talk about that too. We're gonna have to let you get some time when you do that, because you're gonna be doing another one, right? That's not the last one.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay, we're going to have to get you on the show, talk about this one, what you learned from it, and what you're going to do about the next one. All right? Sound good?
Yes. I'll send you pictures. I'll tag you in some pictures and some live videos.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. Well, good luck with that, and have a great time. We still got people checking us out on the show. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, especially overseas, because they on a different time frame. So that's why we love our Speaker Radio people. All right, everybody. That was Shay Samuels. She got an event going on tomorrow in a few hours. And we be back tomorrow night.
In a few hours.
That's right. A few hours with both of us. 9 o'clock. Tune in with us on Speaker Radio and Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We got Pastor Jack coming on, where he mixed religion with politics. So come check him out. I know he got a lot to say about President number 44. And is he number 44? I forgot his number. Or is he 45? Whatever number he is. Whatever. Anyway, 10 o'clock, next man up. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have Evan Jefferson here. He is the author of the new Black Wall Street. Also, he has some entrepreneur programs in place for kids, show kids how to make money at an early age. So it's going to be exciting. And also, we're supposed to have not Brandon Watson going to be here, but Mr. Vega, Richard Vega will be back here. Okay, Christian hip hopper. All right, so let's get out of here, y'all. We'll talk to you guys later. Take care, and thank you for tuning in to Positive Power XI. Take it away, Robot.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XI.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
All right, Shay, she felt the power. That's right, the power of double XI. All right, everybody, take care and thank you for those that was hanging around. I guess you guys must be on California time or overseas. But we appreciate y'all. Thank you, Spreaker Radio. I'm Jerry Royce Live Worldwide on Positive Power, double XI Christian Media. We'll be back in a few hours. We live right here.